Hi everyone, I am Sumathi, Assistant Professor in Zoology. Now I am going to talk about the subject Developmental Biology. This is a very interesting subject. Already one of the slides shows what is meant by spermatogenesis, oogenesis, and also explaining everything on this slides. We know about the mammalian eggs. Why we have to know about the eggs and sperm? It is a reproductive cells. It's very important for the human being, birds, animals, everything also. First, we have to know about the two types of fertilization. One is the internal fertilization, another one is the external fertilization. In mammalians, also followed in the internal fertilization. Fertilization means normal egg and sperm fused and the formation of zygote, that is called fertilization. Before that, we have to know about what is in the mammalian egg, what are the matter they have to cover. Normal mammalian egg have three membrane. It is covered by the outside, covered from outside. First one is a corona radiata, another zona pellucida, another one is a vitelline membrane. What is meant by corona radiata? This layer form around the egg immediately after ovulation. Normally, female have the pair of ovary. Each and every month also, 1 month have one egg from one ovary, another month also the egg is on another ovary. And the ovary is matured and formation of ovulation. In case any sperm is fused with egg, formation of zygote. Without fusion of the sperm, it is ruptured and layered in the menstrual cycle. But there is a corona radiata, means the layer is formed around the egg immediately after ovulation. Another one is a zona pellucida. This is a thick primary membrane. It covers the egg, and the process during the development stages they have to develop. It is also regulate the interaction between the egg and the sperm during fertilization. So, the zona pellucida is a very important. Another one membrane is called vitelline membrane. This is thin membrane. It covers the outer surface of the egg. It is made up of glycoprotein. It gives egg yolk its shiny nature. So, the vitelline membrane also very important. On the basis of this one, the membranes, layers and occurring the yolk content in the egg, we have to divided, classified many type of egg in all the living things. The developmental biology, the egg can be classified the distribution of the yolk or by whether the developmental of potential is predetermined. The word also predetermined is very important. Why? Because the predetermined means the egg also coming from the all the genetic information coming from the parents. Normal the activities transfer from the all the gene also transfer from the parents to offspring. So, it is predetermined. First, we have to know about the yolk distribution. Based on we have to dividing the egg. The egg are classified into three types based on the distribution of yolk in the egg cytoplasm. First one is a homolecital or isolecital. Lecital means that is a distribution. The yolk is distributed evenly throughout the egg. This type of egg has small amount of yolk content. It undergoes a holoplastic cleavage. What is meant by holoplastic cleavage? There are two types of cleavage. One is a homogenetic cleavage, another one is a holoplastic cleavage. The egg also divided into partially. It is a two part. The two part also same, that is called holoplastic. Another one is a telolecital. The yolk is present on one side of the egg, usually at the vegetal pole. So, normally egg also have the two poles. One is the animal pole, another one is the vegetal pole. Animal pole is the upper side, vegetal pole is the lower side. This type of egg have the light and has a moderate amount of yolk content. So, what is meant by moderate amount of yolk content? The yolk content also one places is the highest, one places is the lowest, that is called the moderate yolk content. Another one is a centrolecital egg. This type of yolk egg materials contain the The yolk is present in the center of the egg, not upper side, another lower side, not animal pole or vegetable. The yolk only distributed only in the center. So that is called centrohegetal. This type of egg is relatively large and elongate and has a large amount of yolk content. The yolk form is a net-like structure around the nucleus. This picture shows where the yolk content is present in the place: isolegital, telolegital, centrolegital, another one is a discoidal. Everything also based in the yolk content present in the particular egg material. Normally, after that we have to know about fertilization. First we have to know about what are the egg also occurs, what are the distribution of yolk materials content, what are the animals they have to contain the isolegital, centrolegital, everything also. After that we have to know about the what is meant by fertilization. There are two types of fertilization occur. One is the internal fertilization, another one is the external fertilization, where the fusion of egg and sperm occurs inside of the female reproductive tract, for example humans, and the external fertilization totally varied. The fusion of male and female gamete occurs outside of the body of the organism, for example sea urchin, frog, etc. Normally frog and fish, the fertilization occurs in the water externally, not internally. Normal fertilization is a process by which a sperm and egg fuse and to create a zygote, which it developed into the new organism. After that formation of zygote, new organism also developed. Normal fertilization and implantation are the most critical event in the reproduction process. But in this process, both egg and sperm are fused together to form a zygote. Later, it gets implanted into the uterus and the development of an organism. These organism also formation of next stages. The fertilization occurs in the different part of the body. This picture clearly shows how the fertilization or implantation occurs in that body of the mammalians. The day 1, day 2, from day to day 8 and 9, where the egg is formed. After that, how the egg is goes, after how it reaches and the formation of zygote. In the first day, the egg also fertilized. Fertilized means first, that is a ovary pair. Already I told you, pair of ovary. One ovary also have our ovary also have the egg. The fusion of the sperm, the formation of zygote. That is a fertilized egg. It goes to the fallopian tube. That is from the ovary, it moves the fallopian tube. It occurs on the day 1, day 2, day 3. After zygote, the first cleavage also occurs. What is meant by cleavage? Furrow occurs. The divisions also occur. Day 2, 2-cell stage developed. Normal single cell stage developed into the 2-cell stage. Day 3 also developed 4-cell stage. 2 cells developed into the 4-cell. After 4 cell is developed into the 8 cell. That 8 cell stage also uncompacted, that stage also called morula. That time also it is not called cell, it is called plastomere. After 8 cell stage, the compacted morula, it goes to the early blastocyst is formed. Day 5, after it goes to the implantation of the blastocyst, 6 and 7 also developed and it goes to the uterus. It is a very amazing and also very critical process. Why it is called very difficult and critical process? In case the egg does not move in the fallopian tube, it may be occurs in the third place, in particularly it is a burst. It may be it bursts, it affecting the human being also. So it is very important to movement of the egg from fallopian tube to uterus. Normal fertilization is a natural life process. All the animals also is going on. It produces young ones. It developing the organism. Everything also natural process. It carried by the fusion of both male and female, and the result in the formation of zygote also. In human being, the process of fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube. So that's very important in the fallopian tube. Normally, all the female also developed normal fallopian tube in workplace. During this process, the semen comprising thousands of sperm, millions of sperm, it inseminated into the female vagina during the coitus. The sperm move towards the uterus and reach the opening of the fallopian tube. Only a few sperm will succeed in reaching and opening of the fallopian tube. Millions of sperms occurs in the male, but only one sperm is necessary to fusion of zygote. Among the millions of sperm, few sperm only fertility. In case the number of sperm is varied, the person have not the impotency. But the secondary oocyte is released from the matured Graafian follicle of ovary and enter to the fallopian tube, where the fertilized within 24 hours, it released from the ovary. In these stages, though it is surrounded by the several sperm, the oocyte is fertilized by the single sperm. So only single sperm is necessary to fertilization formation of zygote. The single sperm also very important to formation of new young ones. The stages also occurs in the cell divisions, also mitosis, but reproductive cell, the divisions occurs in the meiosis. During this meiosis stage, the sperm enters to the secondary oocyte and it completes the meiosis. After this, the secondary oocyte is known as the egg. Both the sperm and egg show their vital role, it only to the limited period. The sperm is alive in 48 to 72 hours in the female reproductive system, whereas the egg can be fertilized in 24 hours and before it released from that particular places. These particular fertilization have some steps that is called agrosomal reaction. These steps of fertilization in human being we have to explain in the fertilization process. The human the several stages, both chemical and physical even occurs. Why the chemical substance also used to piercing the egg after entering of the sperm. So the different stages of fertilizations in the human, first one is the agrosomal reaction. The formation of agrosomes in the particular places. But what is meant by agrosomes? That is one of the cell organelles, the animal Golgi bodies, everything also formation of agrosomes. The sperm in capitation undergo the agrosomal reaction and it releases a certain chemical that is known as sperm lysine. It is present in the acrosome. The lysine also doing the function, lytic function. It do the piercing of the lighting of the egg. After that, the sperm enter to the egg. Due to the agrosomal reaction, the plasma membrane and the secondary oocyte, the sperm also fused together that the content of the sperm can enter. When the plasma membrane, the sperm bind with them and the secondary oocyte is formed, the plasma membrane, at that time also the plasma membrane is oocyte is depolarized. Why it is depolarized? What is the use of this one? It prevents the polyspermy. What is meant by polyspermy? Many. That is called many. That is called polyspermy. During that time, calcium ion plays a significant role to agrosomal reaction. The main factor is essential for agrosomal reaction. What is maintaining the pH, that is the optimum pH also very important, and the temperature also they have to maintain. Calcium and magnesium concentration they have to maintain. Why it is we have to know about these particular ones, that is a energy also required. So that is the calcium, pH, temperature, magnesium, everything also we have to concentrate. After formation of this agrosomal, some reaction occur that is called cortical reaction. During cortical reaction, it is a fusion of plasma membrane The oocyte shows the cortical reaction. The cortical granule found under the plasma membrane of the oocyte it fuse with the plasma membrane and release the cortical enzyme between the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. After that, the sperm also entered to the egg. The projection of the node, that is called cone formation of a reception, is formed by the secondary oocyte. The time it is point out the sperm contact with the egg. This cone form the reception receive the sperm. After that, formation fusion of the nucleus occur, that is called karyogamy. Karyogamy means it entry of the sperm and suspended on the second mitotic division. It is completed by the secondary oocyte. It gives rise to the haploid ovum and second polar bodies. The head of the sperm, it containing the nucleus and it detached from the entire sperm. It is known as male pronucleus. The tail and the second polar bodies is degenerated. In oogenesis, the polar bodies also formed. Normally, the nucleus of the ovum is known as female pronuclei. The female pronuclei also formation of ripe ootil. After that, they developed into the new things. Normally, the male and the female pronuclei fuse and the nuclear membrane is degenerated. The fusion of chromosomes of male and female gamete, it is called karyogamy. The time also, the ovum is now fertilized, that is formation of the zygote. The zygote also, new things, new animals, everything also developed from the zygote. The time also, what is the activation of the egg? What is the role of egg? It entry the sperm and dry gas. During that, metabolism also occur, all the activities also occur, energy also needed. At the same time, consequently, the protein synthesis and the cellular respiration also increases. Normal cellular respiration, the mitochondria is part. It is very important to formation of cell energy. The ATP molecules also release the energy. After we have to know about the implantation, once the fertilization is happen, the cells start to divide and multiply within the 24 hours. Formation of another things, that is occurs in the fallopian tube. It is detached from the multi-celled structure. It is called zygote. Later, after 3 to 4 days, it travel to the uterus, from ovary to uterus. From ovary to uterus, that is a bathos of the fallopian tube. Then now it is called as an embryo. It is not a zygote. After formation of zygote, the embryo is travel from the ovary to uterus through a fallopian tube, that is called embryo. The embryo developed undergoes the various stages and get attached to the endometrial layer of the uterus. The process of attachment, it is known as implantation. The embryo attaches in the uterus, that is called implantation. That is a very interesting, very fertilization. We have to know about what is the event occurs in our body, especially in the human, how the new things is formed after formation of cleavage, that is another part. That is very interesting. After cleavage, organs also developed, new things also developed, plastula also formed, morula also formed, everything also occurred. The fertilization over. Next topic also parthenogenesis. The parthenogenesis is totally varied from the fertilization. Why? It is important. The parthenogenesis animals also occur. During parthenogenesis, a reproductive strategy that involves in the development of female, rarely male, and also gamete also formed. The gamete also called sex cell without fertilization. Not presence of fertilization. Without fertilization, the new animal is formed, that is called parthenogenesis. It occurs commonly among the lower plants. It does not occurs in the higher order term, and in some of the few invertebrate animals like rotifers, amphib, and some type of wasp and bees, the parthenogenesis occurs. And rarely among the higher vertebrate, higher order animal. But lower animals also have some parthenogenesis. Animals such as bees, wasp, and no sex chromosome, the organism reproduced by the parthenogenesis. A few plant, reptiles, and fish also capable of reproducing in this parthenogenesis. A few organisms such as greyfish, snake, some Komodo dragon, and some type of shark, it can reproduce sexually as well as by the parthenogenesis. This is known as speculative parthenogenesis. This is one of the very peculiar animal. Some animal, few time only they have to producing fertilized egg and formation of new young one. Sometimes they have to develop in the parthenogenesis without involved in the fertilization. Normally, there are two types of parthenogenesis. One is a natural parthenogenesis, another one is a artificial parthenogenesis. The word also explaining natural parthenogenesis. In certain animal, parthenogenesis occurs in the naturally in their life cycle. This is known as natural parthenogenesis. In natural parthenogenesis, it can be further divided into two. One is a complete parthenogenesis, another one is a incomplete parthenogenesis. In naturally, it occurs in the parthenogenesis. Some of the insect, the no male and no sexual phases occur. Such organism depends upon the self-reproduction. This is known as complete parthenogenesis. In this complete parthenogenesis, how many animals also developed? During incomplete parthenogenesis, the life cycle of a few insects involved in this generation, some sexual generation, some parthenogenesis generation also occurred. In this, some unfertilized egg that produced the male and diploid egg produced the female. Already in our spermatogenesis, oogenesis also 2N diploid N's also divided formation of single haploid cell. In this unfertilized egg also produced in the male, diploid cells and the diploid egg also produced in the female. This type of parthenogenesis is called partial or incomplete parthenogenesis. It does not develop fully, incompletely, that occurs in the parthenogenesis. In artificial parthenogenesis, the fertilized egg might be sometime developed in the parthenogenetically by various chemical and physical means. This is known as artificial parthenogenesis. In this, without involving any one of the egg and the sperm, it is occurs in the some chemical changes and physical changes also occur. It is known as artificial parthenogenesis. What is meant by physical means? Another one is say chemicals involved in the parthenogenesis. In physiologically occurs in that one physiological factors affecting the parthenogenesis. That is the temperature, and some of the temperature increases and it induces the parthenogenesis in the egg. For example, parthenogenesis is induced in the egg and it is transferred from the 30 to 10 degrees Celsius. In this type of parthenogenesis is caused by the ultraviolet rays. Some ultraviolet light also induced to the parthenogenesis. Some electrical shock also causes some parthenogenesis of the activities. When the egg also pricked by some needle and developed occurs in parthenogenetically. We have to artificially pricked in use a type of some needle and the formation of new one without involving any fertilizations. Some chemical means some chemical that are responsible for the parthenogenesis. What are the chemical? Chloroform, urea and sometimes sucrose. Another one is here some fat solvent, acid, some chloride, everything also involved in the chemical means of the parthenogenesis. Why the parthenogenesis is important? Why we have to know about this one without involving the fertilization? The parthenogenesis help in the determining the sex and it is the individuals of the honeybees and the wasp etc. It supports the some chromosomal theory and the formation of some inheritance. Some variation from the population are eliminated by the parthenogenesis also. It is the simplest way most of the stable, easy process of the reproduction comparing than the fertilization. During polyploidy of the organism, it is caused by the parthenogenesis. During parthenogenesis, it helps in the development and advantages of the formation of some mutant characters. What is the mutant character? Sudden changes occurs in the any one of the animals, planned formation of new chromosome, new organism, that is called mutant characters. Non-adaptive combination of the gene also controlled by the parthenogenesis. In this parthenogenesis, there are no sterile races occurs. In this fertilization and parthenogenesis, we have to conclude some of the things. Fertilization and cell division and travel to the uterus and implantation and adaptive strategies we have to know. That is fertilization. The sperm and egg unite to the fallopian tube and the formation of the zygote, that is called fertilization. That is one important word. Another one is cell division. There are two types of cell division occurs. One is a mitotic division, another one is a meiotic division. The zygote begin to dividing and multiplying within the 24 hours. After that, it moves from the ovary to fallopian tube. After it goes to uterus. Travel to the uterus. The zygote travel down the fallopian tube and became embryo after 3 to 4 days. After that, the zygote movement is occurs in the fallopian tube, that is called embryo. Another one is the implantation. The embryo attaches to the uterine wall. In the process is called implantation. Another adaptive strategies, the parthenogenesis is a way for species to reproduce when the environmental conditions are not ideal, when there is a lack of male. So, we have to know about the fertilization and the parthenogenesis. That's very important in the development of new animal and new things also. We have to very interesting topic of the fertilization and the parthenogenesis. Thank you.